Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. I want to talk about Google Maps SEO and how I analyze the map to flip more dots, position one, two, or three, which is going to be a page one of Google listing. I get this question a lot. So I make a lot of YouTube videos around this, and lately I've been getting more questions around how do you look at the map and how do you flip it? So I want to kind of go over how I go about this process, maybe give you guys some ideas of what you can do for your business. So here's a map review. This is just one keyword, and I want to kind of explain how I think about this map and then what I do next. So on 1029, I'm looking at the fourth row here. I'm looking at the middle part of this quadrant, and I see there's dots 5, 5, 4, and 5. Uh, those are not page one of Google listings because we need to be position one, two, or three to be on page one. So I'm really focused on that part. So then I rerun the scan again on 11.1, and I can see that we're still positioned 5, 5, 5. So we're not on page one yet. Next, I do more scans. So this is the map review and then the flip. So on November 2nd, I rerun the scans again. And, we're still in that fourth row, the middle part, we're still 555. But then on November 3rd, I rerun the scan again, same keyword, same radius, everything like that. Now we're position three. So we flip the dots from five to three. And then the row above it now is getting even more competitive for my clients. So we're position three in a lot of instances. So that's going to lead to more impressions, potentially then more website clicks, and then phone calls, and hopefully customers as well for them because we're expanding our map. So competitor review. So how I go about this process is not only am I running scans for the keyword and for my client, but then I'm looking at the competitors that are ranking in the area. And if I take that, that fourth row that I keep talking about, I'll look to see what competitors are ranking there, and then I'll look at their Google My Business profile, see if they mention those towns or cities as services or products or anything else that they are listing even on their website. And if they're not, those are winnable gaps that we can implement as the local SEO strategy. So I'm basically trying to say, okay, is Google ranking them because they're really going after these towns and cities, or is it more that most people don't list them off? Everyone lists off the same, big metros. And then Google's like, well, they sort of are the best here because of their address, but they don't really mention it. So I'm looking for winnable gaps that I can flip for my client because it's very easy to look at the map and say, I want to rank in the big cities. But if you can um, carve out all the small towns around it, that 10,000 people here, 20,000 people here, 30,000 people here, it's just ways to keep building up that population pool to find what you offer. So ways to flip the map. So there's far more than seven. I'll tell you that much. I'm just going to list off just some of the main things here. So you have up to 20 different areas you can list off as a service area. So I mention this all the time. I've had a bunch of people reach out to me from New York City. I mean, I've looked at their Google My Business account. They list off that they only service Manhattan, which, if you're not familiar with that, obviously Manhattan has a lot of different neighborhoods inside of it. So what's really important is that you should be very specific. Say you do the West Village and East Village and Soho and even like the financial district or wherever. You got to be very specific of each town or neighborhood that you service. Same thing with any Google local business. Do the same thing. So here's the towns that we service. Don't just list off one big metro. Number two, add those towns if you can into the description. So look at the dots and say if you're position five, maybe you want to add that to the description itself. Say that you service that town. That is a ranking signal. Number three, create updates and questions and answer content around those nearby towns and cities. So my client does a great job when they meet with people in those given areas. Like they'll let me know, they'll post photos, they'll do videos on their YouTube channel. It's just a lot of great content that I can then take and make as an update within their Google My Business account. Next is get reviews. So I see this a lot. People always ask me, hey, like how come some competitors outranking me even though I have more reviews than them? Now, this is extremely hard to measure, and I've seen a lot of debate on this, but I really believe that if you're getting reviews from somebody who, is verified, who leaves a review in a town or a neighborhood about your service, and they even mention that in their review, I think that's going to hold a lot more weight than, somebody leaving a fake review, from somewhere. Like you see it all the time where people are like, hey, just like, can you just leave me a review? And it's like, it doesn't match up. Like somebody in Colorado is like leaving a review, but you focus in this area and let's say Connecticut. It doesn't really make sense. But if you were in Connecticut and you're getting that review from somebody in that, town or city that you service, I think it holds a lot more weight than simply just the review itself. Next is post on social media platforms. So they do a great job. They don't only just focus on Google, they're posting wherever they're, meeting with potential projects or anything else that they're working on. They're always posted on social media. So it's just great, rich content. We know Google crawls it. So I'm thinking that posting on more places of where they service, I think just helps kind of give more confidence for Google to potentially show them higher. in these search results. Now, next is I rescan the area multiple times. So after I make changes to their Google My Business account or even their website, I'm rerunning scans to see if we're flipping the dots, as I showed in the example earlier in this presentation. And then seven, getting more aggressive. So, I always start like a little, not slow, but I start off with smaller changes in the beginning, update service area here or description or updates, etc. But if I rerun the scan and I'm like, okay, it's been a few weeks. I can't flip these dots from position 5 to position 3. I'm going to get more aggressive. So things I might do is I might update the website to include those towns and cities. I might embed the map directly onto those pages. I'll look then for local directories to get on, so Chamber of Commerce's or anything else like that, just to really boost that signal because I really want to flip those dots. So I always start off like, pretty basic, make the changes, see what it does within the scans. But if I need to, I'm going to get more aggressive and find ways to really make our digital footprint known that we are in this area and we service these areas. And we're on these local Chamber of Commerce sites or directories or anything else like that. And then we can even take it a step further, do further promotion on those places and take advantage of the Chamber of Commerce audience. Maybe do like an Instagram post or email blast or anything else like that, just to really get the name out there to the audience that we're trying to reach. But anyway, that's kind of how I think about the map. Starts off with the scan within local Falcon. Then I'm looking at dots that are positioned 5, and I'm saying, or 5 or 4. I'm saying if I can just flip those dots, those are easy and quick wins. They're going to result in more impressions, more phone calls, more website clicks, and hopefully more customers as well for my clients. So anyway, that's kind of how I go about this. There's actually far more than what I just listed off. I spent a lot of time looking at the map, and I'm trying to familiarize myself with where we can flip the dots to get onto page 1 to get more business for my client. Anyway, if you guys are interested in this type of service, you can go to TM Blast. You can visit my contact page and fill out the form there. Or if you have a question or a comment, feel free to drop it in this video. Thanks again for watching and stay tuned for the next video.